Hello, I'm back. It's been a bit. I don't even know what day it is. It's the 7th of May. I meant to make this like a week ago, this video. Life's just been really busy randomly. Like I had an exam, then I had an audition for school, and then I started working a bunch more, and then I'm starting classes again. It's just a whole mess. And I've been reading more, and then we had an issue with the house that I'm renting. It's fine, but it's been a really crazy couple weeks. Last month, honestly. It's just, my life has never had a calm moment. When will I have a calm moment? Who knows? But you're like, oh, Jane, you're in a spot. I've realized I could sit on the floor in front of my bookshelf, with all my lovely books on it, with my phone propped up on my bed, and this will be fine. So I'm very happy with that. We're here to talk about what I read in April, not about where I'm sitting, not about the crazy life. April. I want to preface this by saying I said I would read Six of Crows: A Duology. I read one of them. Cruel Prince, Throne of Glass, the entire series, this book, Lord of the Rings, and like 3 or 4 other books. Oh, and Realmbreaker, which is up there. The entire series. I read one of those books. In my defense, my roommate got me on a series kick, which I am still reading, and which is saving my reading goal, though, I will say. But alas, we're going to visit. April feels so long ago. I was looking at like, what did I read in the beginning of April? Because it feels so long ago. I read To Snap a Silver Stem and To Flame a Wild Flower by Sarah H. Parker. Both I gave 4 stars. I didn't write down the page number. I think they were about, there was my pen. I think they're about between 500 and 600 pages each. I want to say, could be wrong. Don't know, because my dum-dum didn't write it down. I remember really liking them. I had no notes. This month has been, I need to remember to write notes down for this coming month, the books I'm reading. But yes. I remember really liked them. I remember being like, oh, it's not actually the end yet. And I remember at the very end, this is major spoilers for the next like 30 seconds, so like just skip till minute 3 and just should be done. I remember there's this kind of like possessive relationship that's kind of creepy, because it's like he took her in as a child when he was an adult, and then like I thought he was just gonna be the bad guy, but then he turns into not being the bad guy, and then like she kills him, he comes back to life, and then they're like lovers. It's really weird. I don't like it whatsoever. However, the author wrote it in such a way I want to know what happens next, which is why I gave him such high ratings, because like the writing is really good. It's a really messed up story, but it's very good. So like I can't be wrong. Next I finished the audiobook for Carnival by Stephanie Garber. I didn't have a rating because I think I've already read it before on here, so I don't want to give ratings that I've already read. Lovely series. That series can do no wrong in my head. Then I read Soul. This is where you're gonna see a very big change in what you're gonna start to see a change of what I've been reading lately. You're gonna see in 2 seconds. Soul Eater, the perfect edition by, I wrote the name so messed up, Atsushi Kubo? I'm probably butchering that. It was 306 pages and 4 stars. So my roommate was like, hey, you want to read some more manga? I'm like, yeah. She had the Soul Eater perfect edition, which is the first volume, I think it was, or first 3 volumes in one. I don't know. It was very, very good. It was very funny. Soul Eater is like about these kids who are training to become soul eaters. Like one's the scythe, like one's the weapon, and one's kind of like the reaper type thing. So it's like these kids, you could turn into a weapon, or then you wield the weapon. And there are all these different characters. Some are very funny, like there's the twins, and there's like character who's like Death's son, whom everything has to be perfect. Like his hair is symmetrical. Something's not symmetrical, he's not okay. But also things like really symmetrical, he's like, oh my god, it's so beautiful. And it's really funny. And there's other characters like super full of themselves and just like are really dumb. And it's a really fun, chill book. Yeah, I enjoyed it. The next one I forgot I read, which she also lent me. It's called Noblesse, I think, by Jiho Son. It was season 1. Apparently, so it was a physical book, but it was a webtoon first. It's a Korean webtoon translated to English. I didn't give it a rating. It's 286 pages. From what I remember, because I was dumb and didn't write anything down, it's about like killing demons, but then there's like angels. It's kind of like taking on the good old trait of actually Fallen, which is right here, or Angel Fall, sorry, reminds me of this one. It's like how angels aren't really good. They're kind of like these like immortal beings that are like not good but not bad. Like it kind of depends on the whole like how they're feeling type thing. I guess Fallen would fall into that category as well. But yeah, it's kind of that. It's very, I don't say very gory, but it is on the gorier end. The artwork honestly just beautiful because since it's a webtoon, it's all color and it's all beautiful. It's like Lore Olympus kind of like different style of art, but they're both webtoons. I think that's what they're called. Very beautiful, very well done. I don't know why, but whenever I read manga, I expect like some sort of like romance because like I read the manga when I was younger had at least like a hint of romance, like Our High School Host Club was a really fun comedic. I forget what the genre actually is, but it was like a romance, funny comedic one. And then there's like Bleach, where there was like an underlying romance. Same with Naruto, and I don't think Brotherhood had one. I don't think Full Metal Alchemist had one. But anyways, I digress. And there wasn't any. It was just full like these teenage guys who are like one. Like I'm really interested in the rest because the main character, clearly there's something else with him. He's very like martial arty, and that's why he's at the school because he's very good at martial arts, but they don't really say why. He's not really good at school either, and but there's something important about him, but it's only season 1, so they don't really say why, and anyways, it was very good. I'd recommend it. I just don't like reading comics online, which is why I'm not going to Webtoon to read the rest of it, because I'm like, no, refuse to read online. That's just me. The next book, it was really, okay, my coworker lent me. This was the month of people lending me books. I want to preference this. Almost all the books I read were not mine. They're physically someone else's. This book was all over Book Talk. And my coworker, she started reading the books. Like, she reads lots of books that I read, so I was like, yeah, I'll give it a try. Like, I've heard it's very dark and, like, inappropriate, but, like, it can't be that bad. Like, it's all over Book Talk. Oh, was I wrong? Now, I refuse to DNF a book, which is probably the worst thing about me, is if I read a book, even if I absolutely feel super uncomfortable, I will finish it. Yeah. I read Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton. 2 stars. What I wrote was romance, ? Makes no sense plot-wise. So it's 586 pages. Now this is big, massive spoiler for Haunting Adeline for the next probably minute or so. Just skip ahead when the preference is this girl, Adeline, moves into her grandma's old house. Because her grandma passed away and she gets the house in the will or something. She gets the house, she moves in. She finds out her great-grandmother was murdered by someone. They assume it was her stalker, but she was murdered. Her great-grandmother was murdered. This is an important part to the story. So, her great-grandma's murdered. And then she's starting to, like, renovate the house, because it's a really old house. She started to renovate the house, and then she starts having this, like, stalker, too. And she's like, this is weird. And, like, she does go to the police, and the police kind of, like, shrug it off, and I'm like, okay, that's fun. Love police for that. But then it's, like, flip side, it does give you both point of views from Adeline, and I think his name's Zaid. The dude, Zaid. Still spoiler zone. This is gonna be like another 2 minutes. Sorry. I'm just gonna put my hands up like this when spoilers are done, okay? So then Zaid is on his point of view, and he likes stalking her, but when you go to, like, his work, or, like, what he does for work, is he saves people from being human trafficked, which is, like, okay, if you save people from being human trafficked, why do you feel okay stalking somebody and literally holding her against her will at some points? Like, it was like, okay, and if she just moved out of the house, it would have been a lot better. If she just instantly went, someone's breaking in, because he was breaking into the house and, like, leaving stuff for her in the house. And she's like, oh, this is fine. This is perfectly fine. It's like, no, it's not. It is not fine. and then it ends, and then she gets kidnapped at the end of the book or something. Yeah, it was, there was many pages where I had to go, oh, skip that, because it was like, this is not for me. So read with caution. I will say, H.G. Carlton, I am shitting on my main language. I am kind of going down the book because I didn't like the book, but their writing was very easy to digest. Like, it was very, I could read this in a couple hours. Like, it was very quick. It wasn't very slow. It read very easily. So I can also see why it's popular for that sense, was it was like, it wasn't anything too complex. Like, I've read stuff from like Lord of the Rings from like when I was a kid to like kids books to like, I read everything under the moon. So I understand. I can see why it's popular. I think there's probably books that do this idea better. Will I read the second one? Maybe if my coworker brings it to work one day, it's like, hey, do you want to read this one? I'll probably read it because it's, it's a book. It's fast. Maybe the second one's better because it's like he's gonna do his job and save her. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I personally wouldn't recommend it unless if you kind of want to read something and go, what the heck am I reading? There's better books out there. Okay. Spoilers done. Next one, I'm just a quick one. I read Six of Crows. Yay! One of the like 20 books I wanted to read this month, I read. So we like that. I read one of them. I won't go over, I've spoken about this before. I love Six of Crows. Everyone reads Six of Crows. The next book I read was also from my coworker. It was called Hooked by Emily McIntyre. I think that's how I say it. 4 stars, 326 pages. I really liked this one. Now, it's not as dark. So it's quite like a dark Peter Pan retelling, but not. It's not quite Peter Pan retelling. It's taking the names of the people and the places and like the ideas of stuff, but placing them in a real world situation. Like, kind of think of how I think it's like Neon Gods. Oh, I think I did that one. I blocked half of it out, but I think it's, or like Touch of Darkness. I forgot that author. They do that with like lots of the Greek gods. They do it quite often with them, where it's like they are placed in the real world and there's no actual magic, or there's very little like magic or whatever. That's what Hook does. You follow Hook throughout and you follow Wendy, and it's very, very interesting. I enjoyed it so much. I think I didn't know what I thought it was gonna be more fantastical. That's a word. I thought it was gonna be more like magic and stuff. Because I love Peter Pan. Don't get me wrong, I still love it. Still a great book. I would have liked it better if it was magic or if it did play place in Neverland. I was expecting more of like an evil Peter Pan retelling, which it wasn't. So it kind of was like, sucks. But it was still really well. Don't go in with high expectations though. Go in with like, this is gonna be a fun read, and then you'll have fun. Because that's kind of where I went in with it. I went, okay, this could be either really good or really bad. This is gonna be meh, let's go in. And I enjoyed it. So yeah. The next book, I finished the Cruel Prince audiobook, which we're not gonna, whatever, fine. I love Cruel Prince. We'll reread it later and come back on it later. And then this is where I have been reading the past week as well. I don't want to know how many I've read in the past 2 weeks. Skip Beat, the manga Skip Beat, volumes 1 through 11 I read in April. And it's by Yoshiki Narukume, I think? Kakume? I don't know. I can't say their name. I'm so sorry. And it's the 7th, and I'm on volume 37, I think. She has groups of 3, and I have 3 more left to read. So something along there, 37 or so. It's very, very fun. Skip Beat is about these characters. So it's about this girl who, when she's younger, she's 16, she follows her childhood best friend who wants to make Korean music to Tokyo. And then he treats her like a maid. The only reason he brings her is because he wants someone to like cook for him, clean for him, And she's 16. And she kind of goes, and this was all in the first volume, so I'm not like spoiling anything. And she kind of just goes, oh, screw you. I'm going to become better in show business than you. I'm going to become more famous, and you're going to look at me. I'm going to be so good, and it's going to be... And it's just so funny. And so then she goes to this acting agency. She starts doing that. She gets into all this thing. The shenanigans within the agency is so funny because the president of the agency is just... You know those, like, classic manga characters who are just over the top, like, so invested in everyone else's lives, super, like, love the Met president. He's amazing. It's kind of like there is kind of love triangle in it, but not really, because she's not interested in her child's best friend. He's a jerk. Like, he's actually so mean to her. And she's so innocent and pure. She's like, leave me alone. But also I can't say no. I can't say, like, I don't want to talk to you because you were my friend, and, like, maybe you have something important to tell me. And then he's just like, be's mean to her, and she's like, why did I listen to you? It's very funny. It's kind of like, it is a little bit like, I'm like, what's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen next? Because there's some times you're like, oh my god. It's just fun though. It's nothing serious, which is why I think I'm reading it so fast, because everything's so stressful in my life at the moment. It's like I'm trying to plan school for next year. I'm trying to plan the next 2 years in the next few months. So it's kind of a lot, which makes sense. I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah. So I'm very happy to have light things to read, which is why I didn't finish Crooked Kingdom yet, because I was like, I want to read something fun. Crooked Kingdom is heavy. If you remember Crooked Kingdom, it is a heavy one. So quick recap: I read 14 books in April, 5,518 pages in 11.38 hours. So that is quite a bit. The goal right now for May is just to get fully caught up with the hours, pages, and book goal. I'm like 30 pages away from being on track, so that's really good. I think I'm 5 books away and about 5 hours away. I'm not really worried about the hours because I listen to like audiobooks while I'm cleaning, getting ready, brushing teeth, cooking, so those are very easy to get caught up in. The books, I have 3 more left of the manga, and then I want to finish Eye of the World because I haven't finished it yet, and it's annoying me, and then Crooked Kingdom and a bunch of other books. So I will be caught up by the end of May. Mark my words. If not ahead. It'd be super nice to be ahead. Although, I meant to update my blog, and I haven't updated in a while due to all the craziness, and I'm starting to work more again. So maybe my books will go downhill. Who knows? But yeah. I'm having fun reading. I had fun chatting with you. Let me know what you're reading, or what you just finished, or what you want to read, because I could always use more books that you think I should read, or think books. Also, leave your really books you don't like, because I like reading books that are trash, or like not everyone's cup of tea, because sometimes they're just really funny to read, because you're like, what am I doing? So yeah, leave that in the comments below, and I'll see you hopefully before next month. Like, hopefully I'll think of another video to post, but if I don't have time, I'll see you in June. Bye!